Best controller settings on PES 2020 online and my club. Let's just dive into it. Now, first thing you need to do on the main menu, simply go into settings and then hit options. Here you go to personal preset settings, click on it, and then press X again. Boom. First thing you want to do, you want to rename it, whatever you like to wish. Now, once you set this up, it's going to be implemented whether you play normal divisions, match day, my club. You can change it as well. On my club, if you want to change it, you either play offline against computer, pause the game and change it. You cannot change certain things online. For example, your pass support cannot be changed online during the game. But you can switch your through ball types, through ball. I think everything can be changed apart from your pass assist online. So if you want to change that, you have to go back. Now, the first thing, I use the standard button, old school PES. Cursor change. In my experience, always playing a lot of games online, because I believe the best way to make tutorials or tips to test things online against humans, that's where we most play. So in my experience, and asking the community, asking top players as well, semi-assisted has always been the best way to choose, because your cursor will switch automatically when you're attacking, but when you're defending, you have the freedom. We usually select our cursor by flicking the right stick, which is quicker, or L1. So cursor change, semi-assisted. Next, player indicator. That is something I personally turn it off. It's a little bit distracting. Basically, when you play, you have the cursor on your current player that you're controlling, and there's another. The next player that your cursor will switch to automatically will be a little bit faded off, like translucent. So it will let you know which player you're gonna switch to next. Your opponent won't see that, by the way, online. Only play online. So that's something, it's up to you. Personally, I find it a little bit distracting. I turn it off, but you can turn it on if you wish. Cursor setting, that's one thing a lot of people ask. Would you like to have your controller number? Which for online, I don't think you need that. Username, your gamer tag, you know who you are. I usually use a username gamer tag if I'm playing co-op, so everybody knows who's who when I'm live streaming. What I do use, player name. So you will have your player's name on top of each player, especially when I play on my club, like 2-star, 3-star, some players that I don't know of, or they don't have a face, because usually, like with player models and faces in PES, you can, they kind of stand out, you can tell who's who. So I use player name. Pass support, okay. There's a big thing going on with regarding the pass support. On PES 2019, I played pass support 2 a lot, because I'll tell you my reasons, okay? Before some manual passers having a go at anybody who used pass support 2 and 3. I mean, I respect manual passers, by the way. It's not easy, but what I don't like is manual passers trash talking anybody who's not manual. That's not cool. Anyway, so I use 2 on 19 because I play online a lot. Excuse me. It's not the best for me on 20. So at the moment, if you don't touch it, it's pass support 1. With pass support 1, you have more freedom, but less accuracy if you don't align your player properly, and if you don't align the left stick properly as well. For ground through balls, it's very, very effective for people who likes to keep possession and do longer passes, etc. So at the moment, I'm using 1. I've tested 2 as well. I've tested 3 as well. Pass support 3 is good. You can see it on professional level. Most of them use pass support 3. The pass always goes to the closest player. So if you're one of those players who use a diamond formation or 2-striker formation, you like quick passing, etc., because L1 triangle, it's not that effective this year. Ground passes, I mean, this is based on patch 1, the first patch for gameplay, PES 2020, week 1. Well, it's been 2 weeks right now. So use pass assist 3 if you like quick passing, but if you use pass assist 3, you're going to make a lot of passing mistakes. You have to learn how to do manual pass occasionally, which during the game you can hold L2. That's your manual. When you hold L2, you can do a manual pass, manual shoot, manual clearance, whatever, whenever you like. This fly is doing my balls in. So pick what you like. This is really personal preference. If I say what is the best one, at the moment, I am enjoying pass assist 1 more than 2. And I'm not that sweaty to go 3. With pass assist 3, early crosses and high crosses are more accurate as well. So pick what you like. This one. But if I point out, if you are super competitive, you don't care about anything as long as you win, You could be doing one thing over and over, one style every game. If you're that type of player, no offense by the way, you can go with 3. If you don't like it, go back to 2. But in generally, I barely use 1 online because I have a matchmaking restriction. I don't like people waiting too much to find an opponent. So I usually use 2 full time anyway. But at the moment, I'm using 1. So let's see what happens when the game gets patched. So what I suggest is go with pass support 2. Especially if you are a beginner, you're struggling with passes, etc. So pick that one, test them out, play against the computer a little bit. Through ball and short type, I both use basic. Obviously, you can change them to advanced. Through ball type, advanced, barely anybody use it, especially for online. Shots, you can train with the advanced shooting if you go to the training menu, and you can practice with that as well. It tells you how to do things. You will have a massive advantage if you train with advanced shooting or even manual. Again, occasionally if you hold L2 and you do shots, you can do manual shots as well, while your shots are on basic. So with advanced shooting, what I find out, there are like some sort of easy chances where it's just a tap-in. You might mess that one up if you do advanced shooting, so you have to be really good to use advanced. Directional guides, this is basically if I'm going to make a manual pass, my players will see that I did a manual pass because the color of the bar changes. So I leave that on because I live stream. Target guide, I turn this off. Like when you do a trigger run, holding L1 and flicking the right stick to make a player make a run, it's a little kind of an arrow shows up. I don't like that. It's a little bit cartoonish. I turn that off. Less distraction. Positioning guide, really, I turn this off as well because on a live stream, I'll try to reduce anything. Personal preference again. Auto feint, I leave that on because at the moment with gameplay patch 1, you can barely dribbling is not that effective, especially on my club. I'm talking my club here if you play my club often. With auto feint, you can do, it says easy to pull skills, but you still have to learn it. I'm talking about quick, effective skills like double touch, L feint, in and out, McGeady spin, la croquette, flip flap, skills like that. I will make a tutorial regarding that as well. Auto sliding, now I've always leave that on auto sliding. I've always leave it on semi-auto. Always, by default, it's set on that. But I've noticed a lot of people perfectly tackle me and actually get away with it. Like there are certain situations where his player tackled me, his cursor wasn't even on him. So I realized they use assisted. At the moment, I am testing assisted. Give it a try. And don't worry, like if you're careful, if a player's controlled by AI in the box, make sure you switch to him occasionally. I've never given away any penalties unless I do the action. But what it does, like you're in a counter attack, you're late to select that particular defender. That defender will actually slide tackle for you. Sometimes you may get a card, sometimes you don't. But the majority, I've been using it for over 20 games. It never caused me a penalty, never caused me a red card. So give that a try and let me know. Teammate controlled, always assisted. The reason why is if you use manual teammate control, when you do a trigger run, holding L1 and right stick, you can make that particular player run sideways, backward, in angles. But with online not being super stable, even though I played over 50 games, only had one like a game, but in general, I know we don't have the best servers. I'll stick to that assisted. So when you make a trigger run, you can only make that player run forward. You can super cancel it as well, holding R1 and R2 for the freedom of movement. So that is my opinion regarding the best controller setting. Comment down below if you agree or if you disagree. Let's dialogue. If you find that useful, comment down below. Let me know how you get on. So that's pretty much it, guys. More videos coming up. Make sure to subscribe with your notification on so you do not miss out. If you find the video useful, share it all over the internet. That will be a little bit of support for me to make videos for you. Till next time, be safe. Ciao for now.